Well, it was a pretty chaotic scene all day long. Dozens and dozens of investigative vehicles. We just saw several of the last remaining vehicles roll out of the property. There's only 2 left right now. It has been nearly 1 year since Fotis Dulos, the prime suspect in the murder of Jennifer Dulos, poisoned himself to death with carbon monoxide. It was a captivating case, and there are still many more questions right now than there are answers. State investigators descended on a former Dulos property Tuesday, 80 Mountain Spring Road in Farmington, injecting new intrigue into a more than year-and-a-half-long investigation aimed at bringing justice for Jennifer.
Closure's important.
Sky 61 capturing the massive scene from above, at one point focusing their attention on the woods in the backyard, seen digging. Hours earlier, evidence markers in a ground-penetrating radar scanner machine were pulled from this van with New Hampshire plates that read Mapper. Police dogs circled the property and barked in the distance. Police have searched this 80 Mountain Spring property several times before.
I was curious to see the attention to this particular dwelling.
Currently owned by People's United Bank after going into foreclosure, the property and everything inside was liquidated after Fotis Dulos' luxury home building company 4 Group fell into financial ruin. Investigators got consent to search the property, which has a contingent sale, before the title was transferred to a new owner. The Dulos murder investigation lost but not forgotten amid the pandemic.
It's discussed in restaurants and in shopping stores and supermarkets, and the communities, I think, follows it with a great deal of interest. I'm quite sure that the populace of all 3 towns, West Hartford and Farmington and Avon, would like to see justice carried out.
State police tell us the renewed investigative presence at the mansion was not related to any new tips, but rather a follow-up on old leads.
We really don't know what to believe because Mr. Dulos maintained his innocence until his suicide.
On the day Jennifer disappeared, Fotis Dulos' phone pinged near this home twice. Fox 61 able to obtain this exclusive home security video from a neighbor showing what's believed to be Fotis' black Ford Raptor pickup truck in the area. The same vehicle investigators spotted on Albany Avenue in Hartford hours later. A person matching Fotis' description allegedly dumping bloody items into storm drains.
The body has never been recovered, so it is it's a continuing saga with a great deal of sorrow felt all around.
And this home, of course, is just a few minutes from where the couple used to live, also here in Farmington at 4 Jefferson Crossing. It's also just a short drive from the West Hartford reservoirs, which have been searched extensively for clues. Meanwhile, there are 2 other people involved in this case, Michelle Troconis and Kent Mawhinney. Troconis will be back in court in just a few days on January 25th. Kent Mawhinney is scheduled to be back in court next on February 1st. They are both charged with conspiracy to commit murder. Reporting live in Farmington, Matt Caron, Fox 61 News.